Hello and greetings, whoever you are and wherever you are. Today, I really need to share with the world about an incredibly healing medicine that I have been learning about and bearing witness to the effects of. Chocolate. I'm not talking about the watered down with the poisons of milk and sugar chocolate that everybody thinks of as chocolate. I'm talking about pure cacao, which the scientific name for translates to food of the gods. All right, a little background info. About a year ago, I suffered a devastating loss of my best friend of 15 years. About 6 months after or so, a friend that I had been connected to on the internets for quite a while sent me a care package that included a bunch of cacao, ceremonial grade cacao that she had made into some delicious little 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch square chocolates with almond butter in the middle. And I specifically cleared with her that I didn't have any any cannabis or anything in it. It wasn't a cannabis edible. And she said, no, it's just ceremonial grade cacao. I didn't know what that meant at the time though. And so I ate about a quarter or a half of one of those squares, and then shortly after started feeling like I had just smoked some really strong weed, which I didn't remember doing, or taken some acid or something, which I also did not remember doing. And I proceeded to, kind of just lay down on my bed and went into kind of a visionary state, just really powerful dreams while I was kind of awake. And a huge emotional release came. It had to do very, very linked with my friend that had died. And a huge emotional release came, and I cried a lot, which I cried all the time, but that was a rather big one. And husband had taken some too, and he was also a little laid out and wondering what the heck. And I confirmed with my friend, I was like, those didn't have anything in them, right? She said, no, it's just ceremonial grade cacao. So I went ahead and looked up. I was like, okay, does ceremonial cacao have psychoactive? Is it psychoactive? And sure enough, it is. So it's one of the most gentle psychoactive plant medicines, usually very subtle. I just had some really strong stuff. And it's known as a heart opener. There's a reason chocolate gets associated with like love and aphrodisiacs. So that heart opening can come as emotional release. So fast forward a while, since it seemed like it wasn't something that we could partake in and go about our day, we waited a while before we had any more. And again, I started taking smaller amounts, and I just noticed a slight head change where I felt more open and emotionally, getting to release a little bit, and more creative. I found myself motivated to do creative things under its influence eventually. Fast forward to a long time later, and I still had a bunch sitting in my freezer because it was such a powerful also medicine that when you have access to powerful medicines like that and you don't know when you might get some more, you tend to hold on to it until you feel like it's the right time. So I had it sit in my freezer for a long time, and then fast forward to the real point of my story and its real medicinal uses. My dad's friend had been experiencing severe and extreme debilitating abdominal pain. She'd been to the hospital a couple times, her regular doctor a few times, and of course they don't know what the hell they're doing and had nothing they could do for her. They took a bunch of tests, kept her in the hospital for a couple days various times, And the best that they can tell her is maybe it's a bacterial infection, so we're going to give you this high-powered antibiotic and send you on your way, and some other stuff. They gave her Tylenol, which is horrible for your gut microbiota, and her doctor confirmed that for her. So the emergency room gives her Tylenol. Her regular doctor tells her they should not have given you Tylenol. So, you know, she's like already losing trust and faith in those hospitals. And so this antibiotic, though, you know, even if you take a powerful antibiotic for something unrelated to the gut, people will tell you they have to spend the next 2 years working on healing their gut because they're getting sick all the time and stuff, because your gut microbiota is extremely important to your overall health and immune system. And when you take antibiotics, it kills all of the good stuff, including the bad stuff. So I was a little disgusted, you know, that they just threw this broad spectrum antibiotic at her without even any confirmation on if it was actually a bacterial infection or not. And of course, you know, that's not addressing the root cause. Like, why? I mean, we all come in contact with different bacteria and viruses all the time, and not everybody gets sick from them. So when you do get sick from, say, a common bacteria, there means there's some underlying problem going on, and the getting sick is just, the bacteria is just a symptom of that, because normally your body should be able to fight that off and keep you in balance and homeostasis. Anyway, so they give her this antibiotic and send her on her way. She's still in debilitating pain, like can't move. So I've got all different kinds of remedies, herbal remedies, all different kinds of stuff around my house, and know a lot about it, but not anywhere near everything, obviously, because I didn't know this until after this happened. So one of the things that I'm running around all my different stuff to try to find something for my dad to give her that might help with the pain, with the gut, with the underlying emotional, what have you, because I do believe that most physical ailments, people don't like to hear it, but they can definitely be linked to underlying emotional and spiritual problems. So you can heal emotionally and spiritually, and it'll help you physically. So I gave her some of the chocolate, thinking, you know, I'm just thinking it's like a heart opener and like kind of mildly psychoactive and gentle plant teacher to make you feel better emotionally and spiritually. And I was not expecting the results it got, though. So she had just like half of one, and the next day my dad tells me that it basically cured her for 4 hours. Like, he saw her smile and move around, and for the first time in weeks. And so that shocked me, and I was like, well, holy moly, what's going on here? And I get out old Google and Google cacao, ceremonial cacao, intestinal, abdominal, something about abdominal pain, abdominal complaints, and medicinal uses. And sure enough, I come up with information about how it's got over 100 medicinal uses, and in the top 3 most recorded and talked about uses is intestinal and abdominal complaints. So I started doing a bunch of reading. I'm going to read for you right now from one of the articles that I had found, which is from the Journal of Nutrition, published by the American Society for Nutrition. It's titled "Food of the Gods, Cure for Humanity, ? A Cultural History of the Medicinal and Ritual Uses of Chocolate." It's published in 2000, August 2000. All right, reading some of the abstract here. The medicinal use of cacao or chocolate, both as primary remedy and as a vehicle to deliver other medicines, originated in the New World and diffused to Europe in the mid-1500s. These practices originated among the Olmec, Maya, and Mexica (Aztec). The word cacao is derived from Olmec and subsequent Mayan languages. Early colonial era documents included instructions for the medicinal use of cacao. The Bedanius Codex 1552 noted the use of cacao flowers to treat fatigue, whereas the Florentine Codex 1590 offered a prescription of cacao beans, maize, and the herb tloxoxidil to alleviate fever and panting of breath and to treat the faint of heart. Subsequent 16th to early 20th century manuscripts produced in Europe and New Spain revealed greater than 100 medicinal uses for cacao chocolate. 3 consistent roles can be identified: to treat emaciated patients to gain weight, to stimulate nervous systems of apathetic, exhausted, or feeble patients, or 3, to improve digestion and elimination where cacao chocolate countered the effects of stagnant or weak stomachs, stimulated kidneys, and improved bowel function. Additional medical complaints treated with chocolate cacao have included anemia, poor appetite, mental fatigue, poor breast milk production, consumption and tuberculosis, fever, gout, kidney stones, reduced longevity and poor sexual appetite, low virility. Chocolate paste was a medium used to administer drugs and to counter the taste of bitter pharmacological additives. In addition to cacao beans, preparations of cacao bark, oil, leaves, and flowers have been used to treat burns, bowel dysfunction, cuts, and skin irritations. Okay, and I just got this book titled, on Kindle, Chocolate as Medicine, A Quest Over the Centuries by Philip K. Wilson and Jeffrey Hurst. It's published in 2012. The abstract says the Mesoamerican population who lived near the indigenous cultivation sites of the chocolate tree, Theobroma cacao, had a multitude of documented applications of chocolate as medicine, ranging from alleviating fatigue to preventing heart ailments to treating snakebite. Until recently, these applications have received little sound scientific scrutiny. Rather, it has been the reputed health claims stemming from Europe and the United States which have attracted considerable biomedical attention. This book, for the first time, describes the centuries-long quest to uncover chocolate's potential health benefits in a scientific fashion. So, in an appendix of this book, and also in that article I mentioned, which I'll link in the description, is a list of disorders and diseases that cacao products have reputedly improved throughout history. It's a long list. I'm going to read them all. Agitation reduces, anemia improves, angina and heart pain reduces, apathy diminishes, aphrodisiac properties, improves appetite, diminishes asthma, controls and diminishes belching, staunches bleeding, generates blood, fortifies, invigorates, nourishes, refreshes, and repairs the body, strengthens the brain, sweetens and reduces shortness of breath, diminishes bronchitis, soothes burns, that's the topical use of it, diminishes cancers, diminishes catarrh, C-A-T-A-R-R-H, diminishes chest ailments, diminishes colds, diminishes colic, improves probability of conception, diminishes consumption and tuberculosis, diminishes coughs, preserves countenance, soothes and disinfects cuts, improves debilitations of all kinds, diminishes diarrhea, dysentery, griping of the guts, and dyspepsia, improves and promotes digestion, diminishes distempers, diminishes emaciation and wasting associated with multiple disorders, improves energy, relieves exhaustion, nourishes body after exercise, diminishes female complaints. I got a kick out of that one. Reduces and relieves fevers, controls and dissipates and reduces flatulence, diminishes gout, diminishes green sickness or chlorosis, strengthens gums, delays growth of whiteness of hair, it's got biotin in it, reduces effects of hangovers, reduces hemorrhoids, preserves health in general, strengthens the heart, relieves heart palpitations, relieves hoarseness, diminishes hypochondria, diminishes indigestion, reduces infections, reduces inflammation, diminishes itch, diminishes jaundice, diminishes kidney complaints, expels and cures kidney stones, facilitates labor, delivery, and childbirth, promotes lactation, diminishes leukorrhea, the whites, improves life, under L, strengthens limbs, soothes chapped or cracked lips, diminishes liver complaints, lengthens and prolongs longevity, diminishes lung complaints, provokes and increases menstruation, improves morality, relieves mouth burning, calms and diminishes nervous disorders in general, soothes cracked nipples, improves nutrition, opens and reduces obstructions, cleansing, eases and reduces pain of all kinds, counters, expels poisons, nourishes the embryo in pregnancy, diminishes rectal bleeding, diminishes scurvy, reduces seizures, increases sexual appetite and pleasure, clears, lubricates, and softens the skin, diminishes skin eruptions, encourages or prevents sleep, depending on what you're going for, invigorates the spirit, diminishes St. Anthony's fire, erysipelas, might be pronouncing that wrong, recovers and repairs strength, provokes and increases sweat, diminishes syphilis, cleans teeth, quenches thirst, reduces throat inflammation, diminishes timidity, reduces toothache, reduces tumors and pustules, reduces ulcers, provokes and increases urine flow, reduces vaginal irritation, increases virility, diminishes violence, controls, reduces vomiting, increases warmth, relieves weakness, increases weight, cures worms, soothes and disinfects wounds. And while one of its top 3 uses is helping emaciated people gain weight and gaining weight, like say if you're getting cancer treatment or for whatever the problem is, it can also help you lose weight because it's reducing inflammation. And for a lot of people, a lot of the weight that they're carrying that they might not want to be carrying is inflammation-related weight. And plus, because it improves digestion and improves overall gut health, it could help you lose weight. Most of us are walking around, unfortunately, with weeks worth of backed up crap in our colons, and you could fast for 2 weeks and still be pushing stuff out. So, ewy. And this will help with that. Okay, so why doesn't more people know about this? Why didn't my dad's friends' doctors know, hey, chocolate, cacao, it's not illegal. You can buy it. You can't go to Walmart and buy it, but it's probably in certain health food stores. I got mine online after I found out all about this, and I basically gave away to my dad's friend when she was in extreme pain. The rest of my supply, I went and looked around for different cacao suppliers, and it ranges in price, but it's really not that expensive. I bought a lot of it in bulk, and it comes out to like $1.50 a serving. And the kind that I ended up landing on, if you're interested, that seemed like the best value and for the quality, was Firefly chocolates. And they come in little discs worth of chocolate, and they say like a dose is 5 to 10 discs. And you just mix it with 6 ounces of hot water like you would a tea, and ingest it. And I found that I've only gotten up to, in experimenting with this kind of brand of chocolate, I've only used up to 5 pieces, and I don't experience any of the psychological, like obvious psychological head change like I did when I first ate it, where I felt the need to go lay down and was in the visionary state. So if I took more of it, I'm going to slowly increase my dose to find out how much I would need to induce that state. Because in ceremony and for meditation purposes and prayer purposes, you do want to induce that visionary state. But for day-to-day purpose, people drink it every morning. That's how it was traditionally drunk, is in a hot chocolate type brew. And people can add different things to it. They used to add chili to it. And there's different recipes to make it more palatable. I've been just drinking it straight, and people do it every morning for their just general health. You can give it to kids, pregnant women. I've been giving it to my kids. They won't drink much of it. They'll only have like a gulp because it's icky to them. But today my son took a nap. My 9-year-old son took a nap about an hour after I gave him some for like the first time in maybe 5 years. I don't know. I think he did stay up late, staying the night at a friend's house last night. But still, even if he does that before, he still won't take a nap, and he'll just be a grumpy puss all day. You know how kids don't like to sleep. And it helped him go to sleep. Crazy. Wow. Holy moly. And, you know, so this, in closing here, this is getting kind of long. Want to talk about like just the deliberate poisoning of this medicine with milk and sugar. That's deliberate, that they have poisoned this medicine with milk and sugar to make everybody think that that is chocolate. That is not chocolate. Chocolate, real cacao, is one of the most medicinal and gentle plant teachers and healers on this earth. And it is definitely on purpose that the medical profession is not, you know, widely aware of its uses and benefits. And it's cheap, of course, you know, like the powers that be can't make any money off of it. So they're never gonna, you know, be in the wider realm of widely accepted mainstream treatments. So I'm just gonna do my little part here to spread the message. I've got all different kinds of family members that I feel like I need to go like grab them and tell them about this and get them to try it. And I hope that you also find some to try and benefit from it. And thank you for listening. And again, I will put the links to some resources in the comments for you to learn more. And, you know, happy healing. Cacao!